everyone! I just finished this book, Dark Fire by Kristin Feehan. Now, this was a book that I flipped back and forth between loving Darius and hating Darius. Darius. I still don't know how to pronounce his name, and I heard an episode in Law & Order SVU, season 7? Did I have season 7? Yes! Because I'm on the library list here. And they had a character named Darius, or Darius. Darius is what it was. Yet I'm still having a difficult time pronouncing that name. I don't know why, but anyway. I flipped back and forth between them because there were moments when... Sorry, I need to put this down. I need to talk with my hands. He would be the most arrogant son of a bitch that I wanted to... Oh my god, he annoyed the fuck out of me. But then he'd be the most sweetest, mushiest, wonderful, oh my god, my eye. Most wonderful man in the world to Tempest, or Rusty as she's told people to call her for nickname, throughout this entire book. Just back and forth. And I understand, you know, being that way in the beginning, but then you get a better character in the end. But I don't think he'll ever be like that. Well, I'm not sure. Because again, I haven't read the more newer kind of books from Dark Destiny all the way up to Dark Slayer. Actually, yeah, those three newer books. From this point, they're newer books. I haven't read how she personalizes them then, because it's been at least maybe a century, like 10 years, which I think is a century. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's been no more than maybe 10 years from like 10, like there's 10 books? No. How many books? 10? My bad, it's only been 6 years. It's been 6 books. Like, from this book to Dark Destiny, it's 6 books. Like, there's 5 books in between them. So, it's the 6th year. But I think it's actually based in America, so we don't really get to talk to the other characters. Whereas in Dark Curse, which is probably more, I think actually 10 years, 10 books. Stop saying 10 years, it's 10 books from Dark Fire, and that's when actually a lot of characters have come together. And the same thing in Dark Slayer. So like 10, 11 books, because I definitely know in Dark Slayer there's a meeting because mother and daughter are there are 2 pregnancies in, like, 2 different females are pregnant in that book. So, and I do know there's a meeting, and basically apparently only the males are allowed to be in this meeting, but there are a few select females that are just like, bitch please, I am a hard-ass working woman, and I defend my mate. I am in these battles with my mate, so F you, I'm in this meeting, keep talking. So whatever. So I think the males will progress to a better standing than they do in like their first book you meet. So this book is sort of in the few books that I have read, it's in between the males that, you know, are a little arrogant in the beginning, but as they progress through the book, by the end, they are a much better man. They're more accepting of their mate. They're not as rigid as they are. But then, and then like the other side are the males that are just like, they're arrogant in the beginning, and like they've only progressed like the tiniest bit, so they're still like 90% arrogant caveman. This book is in the place between modern Carpathian and caveman Carpathian. So this one's in the middle because he flips back and forth between being, you know, a modern man to a caveman. So yeah. So I like him and I dislike him at the same time, but I think I like him like a little bit more. So it's like a 60-40 that I like him. What are you telling me, Caputa? Nothing new. Tempest? I like Tempest. Is a she's a fiery redhead. Well, compared to Shay, she's not. She's definitely not an Irish woman. Shay is, so she's got like the stalk red of hair. Whereas Tempest, it's described as like a red gold. So yeah, she's more American. Again, she's got a temper. She's independent, and with her past, there's a reason why she's very independent. She doesn't like depending on other people. She's not very comfortable around other people because, well, it's because of her psychic powers that she has that causes her to not be comfortable around people, but she's also, instances in her life has made her very wary of humans and only depends on them. Like, I gotta do a job for you, I gotta pay. Like, she's a mechanic, so I'll fix your car, you pay me, I'm gone. But again, instances that have made her very wary of the human race, especially males, because they didn't do some nice things to her. But she's a great person, and then she gets to talking to Desiree and Sindel, especially Sindel, because, you know, they share something in common. I'll leave it at that. You gotta read the book. And she feels comfortable with them, mainly, but then there are instances that they talk to her, and she's like, what? And then she becomes very wary of them because of stuff they've said, and it's like, I'm a little uncomfortable now. And Tempest is very human. If you can hear my sister, I'm sorry, I've even shut the door. But she's a lot more human than other human females. Because again, she's very independent, like other women of the modern day. But for some reason, Raven and Alexandra just I don't know. They weren't very, they were more accepting. Well, Shay and Raven were a lot more accepting, and then Alexandra is like, she's just a little bit more wary just because of her brother. But Tempest is like, fuck, no. Just no, you leave me the hell alone. You stop ordering me about. Because of stuff in her past. But I think she would have still had, like, she says she has trouble with authority figures. I still think she would have had that even without the bad stuff that happened in her past. Again, just a great character. I love just how real she feels. And she's got deep fears. It's insane. And I totally am with her on that same level of like how deep her fears go and how it makes her feel like having panic attacks. She doesn't have anxiety or like panic attacks, but what Kristin has described in these books are basically feeling like panicked inside. It's very tight and very hard to breathe and all that such, which I think is what an actual panic attack is, but I can't say because I only have like very social situational anxiety where I have sort of type panic attacks. I'm not going to get into mine, but yes, the characters. And when Tempest and Darius come together, it is a weird chemistry that they have, and on Tempest's end, it feels very real, like very normal in society of how I'm just dating you, yes, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we may be like exclusive, but we still don't know our future, if we want to continue staying together. Like literally, it's just literally a week, maybe 2 weeks that they're together. But the thing about the Kristin Feehan books is that they are soulmates and literally like they can merge in their mind and find out, well, I love you insanely and I want to be with you and blah 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 blah. Whereas other ones, I have a little bit more trouble believing them as falling in love within 2 weeks. Anyway, as I said, their merging is yeah. Whereas on Darius's end, it's a little more forced because he's kind of pushing her into it, but at the same time, as I said, I flip back and forth. He's a very flippy guy. So at the same time, it may not it feels very forced. It doesn't feel completely real, but at the same time, it does feel real. It does feel like it's a slow progression. But I again, whenever Darius comes up, it's like the flippy back and forth thing going on. Now the story, I don't know what the story's going on, but there's basically, you know, the human vampire hunter society is still coming after Desiree, but now they've set their sights on Tempest, so, you know, things are not so great. But it feels like it's very background story, and it's very low on, like, you notice it. You are more into the story of Darius and Tempest coming together, which I like, but at the same time, I want more of the story, like, progression of, you know, how each book is tied together, besides just, you know, Carpathians are finding their mates, and they're gonna be able to maybe have children, and that sort of thing, but I like a more, like, I don't know, I want a little bit more story, and not just, like, the, like, yeah, I don't know how to describe, but it's a little less focused on just the couple, and more the couple story, so that they're equal 50-50 and not like 70 couple 30 or like 80 couple 20 story, so that, like, the story's just in the background and you don't really pay attention to the story. Yeah. Now at the same time, if you basically have fallen in love with Kristin Feehan, her writing and all that such, and her stories, if you haven't read the Dark series, but you've read other stuff of hers, you probably have been on her website, and if you've dabbled in the Carpathians, you will know that there is a family tree. Or you're getting into, like, just the character list, where it lists characters from, like, alphabetically. You will notice that two couples share a book. And that is this book. So apparently the main story is Darius and Tempest, because they literally just met in this one. Our second one is Barack and Sindel. We met them in our previous book, which was Dark Challenge. There we go. I couldn't remember what the previous book was called. So we meet them there, and, you know, Barack is very moody. Even though he's described as a very playboy type of man, I don't see that, and I don't think anyone else sees it either. And when we meet Sindel, she's a very ethereal, very gentle character, and she's very subdued because of something that happened in her past. And so Sindel has put herself away from her family because of the thing in the past. But apparently through Dark Challenge, supposedly she comes into herself, but I don't see it. So, I don't know. But once we get to this book, she seems to be coming back into more of herself. She's gaining more confidence, she's gaining her personality back, and then, like, we see her flirting, and then all of a sudden, like, so yeah, that's Sindel in this book. Barack, for some reason, he's the stupid playboy character again. He's fun-loving and all that such. It's like, how did that happen? why did their characters literally do a 180? I don't get it. But more likely the reason why Barack is his playboy, I'm gonna go out and fuck human women sort of self, is because he's found his mate. And that's Sindel. I already knew they were going to be a couple, but in book thing and such, it doesn't make sense. Like, cause like, we don't go into Sindel and Barack's, like, mentality, or, like, we don't go into their side of the stuff a lot. We mainly just are with Tempest and Darius. But, like, it would have been nice to, if you're going to have two couples kind of, you know, come together in the same book, it would have been nice to be in Barack and Sindel's mind and know how they're, you know, progressing as a couple. Because it made sense not to have it in Dark Church. My gosh, excuse me, I recently just finished my dinner. So sorry. It made sense not to have them there. But if you're going to have them in this one, it would make sense to have them, you know, be in their mind, to see their thought process and how they're going through it. But and then the way that they, you know, like, and the way Barack goes about, you know, binding them together, because first off, he hasn't said the ritual words, and like the way they act towards each other, it's just frustrating. Of like, okay, I understand why they might not, you know, like, he might not bound her to him, or like she wouldn't like acknowledge it because of how he is reacting to her for what happened in the past to her, and how she's reacting to everyone else, like, for this instance specific to Barack, because of what happened in the past. It makes sense why, like, basically they haven't, you know, made official couple to each other. But it's just frustrating. And I really hope that when I read them in next books that they are better, and he's not such a dick towards Sindel, because Sindel is really only acting out because, you know, she's looking at her mate, and her mate is going off to fuck human women, and it's like, how would you feel if your mate is doing that? And then because she's coming into herself and she's starting to feel more normal, we discover that she has a temper. That's actually what is in the last chapter. Yeah. I just wanted more from that part. If you're going to have two couples sort of mating in the same book, I'd rather have, like, an equal amount of, like, I want to know their situation. I want to know what's going through their heads and what the fuck's going on. Yeah. So I loved Darius and Tempest, even though Darius is a big flip-floppy. I'm a little disappointed in how far back in the background the story is. And then the weird Sindel Barack situation. There's the phone. Yeah. And then, like, the writing process, I really didn't have a big problem with that. The writing is good, except for one word. There's one word that she kept repeating that just made no sense. I wondered what that word was used for, and just why? Just repeating it over and over again, like it's not like word, comma, but it's like, we have it in this chapter, we have it in the next chapter, we have it twice in the next chapter, and the word is conflag, conflagration. And it's used when Tempest and Darius are having sex. And, like, every time the first time I was like, okay, that's a different word to use during sex, so that's fine. But when I kept repeating, I was like, why? I don't get it. I don't get what in reference to that word is being used for. So, yeah. But to get to an end of this review, to actually give you something, I did enjoy this book. On a whole, I did enjoy it. I do, and that's mainly because of Tempest and Darius as a couple, not the three other things. Just as a book, as its whole, it was very good, and that was because of Darius and Tempest as a couple to separate stuff out. So I would recommend reading it as, like part of the series, or as like you wanna, I think this is a good representation of how we as a human modern person are getting integrated into that world, okay? I think. So, as this is finally finished, I wanted to finish this earlier, like on Friday. That didn't happen because I was busy doing other stuff, which makes sense. You can't, like, yeah. If you're busy doing other stuff, yeah. But yes, I would recommend this book. It was good. I liked it. And for the reasons I said. So now I get to this book. This is my interlibrary loan. It finally came in. And it is, The Rank by Suzanne Nock. And this is book 1 in the Lessons in Love series. I have book 3 in the series, so I kind of needed to do this. And I got this last Tuesday. So it was a little frustrating because I had just begun this. If I had begun this, I would have read this in the week because, Tuesday's tomorrow. And yeah. But anyway, I finally get to read this. But with the way it is, the way the picture is, and that sort of thing, I should read this quite fast. Hopefully, because I've got 2 weeks for this now. So let's read this. First, I got this from St. Catherine's. 3 determined young ladies vow to give 3 of London's worst ranks their comeuppance. Comeuppance. I don't know what the fuck that word is. But when these rogues turn the tables, who truly learns a lesson in love? Once upon a time, the notorious Viscount Dare charmed Lady Georgina Haley out of her innocence, to win a wager no less, and now he must pay dearly. The plan is simple. She will use every seductive wile she knows to win Dare's heart, and then break it. But his smoldering gaze once again tempts Georgina to give in to desire. And when he astonishes her with a marriage proposal, she wonders, is he playing yet another game? Or could it truly be love this time? And it's an Avon book, so it should be good. How many chapters we got? 23 chapters. We don't have a epilogue. Alright, let's see. We do have a prologue, so we technically have 24 chapters. Now, I'm gonna read this. I did choose this ensemble with you in mind, my lord, she said, smoothing her silk burgundy skirt. Do you truly like it? The Viscount was no fool, and though his expression didn't change, he took a half step back. She hadn't brought her fan along tonight, though Lucinda's was an easy reach if she changed her mind about rapping him across the knuckles. I do, my lady. His sweeping glance took her in from head to toe, leaving her with the unsettling sensation that he knew whether her shift was silk or cotton. Then this is the one I'll wear to your funeral, she said with a sweet smile. Okay, that didn't make sense at all. Sometimes when they take a section out of the book, they kind of take other sections out of it, so yeah, hopefully that makes more sense in the book than it did right there. Alright, so yeah, that's this book, and it's an interlibrary loan. So yeah, I hope you liked this longish book review. I'm sorry it's so long. But if you did, hit that like button down there and leave a comment down there whether you liked this book, this series, this author, or if you're not much into the Dark series, which of Kristin Feehan's books do you like? And leave in the comments below. And if you don't like Kristin Feehan at all, let me know what sort of books are similar that you liked. And just don't be negative and don't be nasty, because we do not need that in the world, okay? We don't, because we do not need nastiness. Yeah. And if this is the first time you're watching my video, please hit that big red subscribe button down there by my picture for more book reviews, hauls, let's plays, unboxing and bagging, because something's coming, a bubble wrap manila envelope or a plastic bag wrap thingy, vlogmas, random vlogs, and random videos. I have no idea what to categorize. Right, I need to get going on this book, because, you know, it's a library book, and I got 2 weeks left with it. So yeah. Again, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.